Your dopamine controls more than you think. It drives your motivation, your focus, your sense of reward, even your ability to feel pleasure depends on it. But most people don't realize their daily habits are slowly destroying that balance. You feel it as low energy, no drive, no motivation, constant distraction. But inside your brain, something deeper is happening. Your chemistry is shifting, adapting to the way you live every day. And over time, that shift changes how your brain functions. Now here's the problem. Most people never fix it because they don't understand what's causing it. So let's break it down, step by step. Mistake 1. Constant phone scrolling. Every time you scroll, your brain receives a small reward, a new image, a new video, a new piece of information. Each one triggers a dopamine spike, small but repeated, over and over. Now this constant stimulation begins to overload your brain. Your reward system gets flooded with more input than it was designed to handle. At first, it feels good, entertaining, engaging, effortless. But over time, your brain adapts to that level of stimulation. Now it expects more novelty, more intensity, just to feel the same effect. And this is where the problem begins, because your baseline dopamine starts dropping, meaning your normal level of motivation becomes lower. Now simple tasks start feeling boring, unrewarding, difficult to focus on. Now mistake 2. Too much sugar and junk food. Sugar creates one of the strongest dopamine spikes inside your brain. When you eat it, your reward system activates immediately, releasing large amounts of dopamine. Now again, at first, it feels good, pleasurable, satisfying. But your brain adapts quickly. It begins to expect those high spikes. Now normal food feels less rewarding, less satisfying, and your cravings increase because your brain wants that same high over and over again. Now this reduces your motivation for anything that doesn't provide instant reward. Now mistake 3. Lack of sleep. Sleep is when your brain resets, including your dopamine system. During deep sleep, receptors recover, sensitivity is restored, and balance returns. But without enough sleep, this reset never fully happens. Your receptors become less sensitive, meaning dopamine has less effect, even when it's released. Now your brain struggles to feel reward, to stay focused, to maintain energy, and everything begins to feel harder. Now, mistake 4. No physical activity. Your body is designed to move, and your brain depends on that movement. Exercise naturally increases dopamine in a balanced, sustainable way. It also improves receptor sensitivity, helping your brain respond better. But without movement, your dopamine levels remain low, your brain becomes sluggish, your energy drops, and motivation disappears quickly. Now, mistake 5. Constant stress. Stress floods your body with cortisol, a hormone designed for survival. But when it stays elevated, it interferes with dopamine signaling. Your brain shifts into survival mode, focused on threats instead of reward. Now pleasure decreases, focus becomes harder, and motivation fades. Now over time, all of these habits combine, and your brain begins rewiring itself. It adapts to quick rewards and avoids effort, because effort no longer feels rewarding. Discipline becomes harder. Consistency becomes difficult. You feel stuck, unmotivated, drained, even when you want to improve. And this is where most people stay, without understanding why. But here's what happens when you begin fixing it. When you reduce overstimulation, your brain slowly begins resetting. Dopamine levels stabilize. Your baseline starts rising again. Now simple things begin to feel rewarding. Small progress feels satisfying. Focus begins improving. You can stay on tasks longer without constant distraction. Now, when you exercise, your body releases dopamine naturally, in a controlled, sustainable way. Your brain responds better. Your energy increases. Your mood improves. Now, when you sleep properly, your receptors recover. Sensitivity is restored. Your brain processes reward more effectively, and you wake up feeling clearer, more stable, more focused. Now, when you improve your nutrition, reducing sugar, balancing your meals, your brain stops depending on extreme spikes. Instead, it stabilizes and functions more efficiently. Now, when you reduce stress, your system calms down, cortisol drops, and dopamine signaling improves. Your brain shifts out of survival mode and back into performance mode. Now everything begins aligning. Your motivation returns. Your energy rises naturally. Your focus becomes sharper. Your productivity improves. And your mood stabilizes. Now you feel in control again. Not forced, not overwhelmed, but balanced. Now here's the key. This doesn't happen overnight. Your brain didn't change in a single day. It adapted slowly, over time. Every habit you repeat, every scroll, every distraction, every quick reward, all of it shaped how your brain responds today. And the same is true in reverse. Your brain doesn't instantly recover. It rebuilds gradually through what you do every single day, through consistent habits, repeated again and again. At first, the changes feel small, almost unnoticeable. You might not feel different right away. You might still struggle with focus, still feel distracted, still crave that instant stimulation. But something is happening. Deep inside your brain, your chemistry is slowly adjusting. Small changes, creating real biological shifts. Day by day, your brain begins rewiring itself. And this is where everything starts to change. Because consistency does what intensity never can. Now imagine continuing this, not just for a few days, but for weeks, for months. This is when the transformation becomes undeniable. Your brain becomes stronger, not just mentally, but chemically. Your focus becomes sharper, because your brain is no longer overloaded with constant stimulation. Your discipline improves, because you've trained your brain to delay gratification. And your resilience grows, because you're no longer dependent on quick rewards to feel good. This is the version of your brain most people never experience. And here's the reality. Most people never reach this point, not because it's impossible, but because they don't stay consistent long enough. They start strong, but stop too early. They look for quick fixes instead of building long-term change. They want results without repetition, progress without patience. But your brain doesn't work that way. It changes through patterns, through repetition, through what you do every single day. And this is where the difference is made. Because if you stay consistent, everything begins improving. Your energy stabilizes. Your focus returns. Your motivation rebuilds. And suddenly, the things that once felt hard start feeling natural. Control your habits, and you control your brain chemistry. Protect your dopamine, and you protect your motivation. Train your focus daily, and your mind becomes sharper over time. Build discipline slowly, and it becomes part of who you are. Because this isn't just about productivity, it's about how your brain functions, how you think, how you feel, and how you live your life. Fix your dopamine system, and you change everything. Not instantly, but permanently. So the question is not, can your brain improve? The real question is, will you stay consistent long enough to see it happen? If you want to understand what's really happening inside your body and take full control of your focus and energy, subscribe now and don't miss what happens next.